Why is the United Nations so important to the world today? Well, I am here to tell you. The United Nations was formerly known as the League of Nations, and it was a product of World War I. But it was in order to keep peace throughout the world. But when Germany's country got unfair treatment from the main countries in Europe, the possibility of World War II was on their minds. Woodrow Wilson's 14 points were not involved in the League of Nations. This was one of the reasons why World War II happened. After World War II, on October 24th, 1945, the United Nations formally began. This group was in order to keep peace throughout the world. And it has today. Now, today, there are over 181 countries. Back then, there were over 51 countries. The United Nations runs out of New York City and is very important. This group is broken up into several different parts. The General Assembly is one of the main 6 parts, and this has very important jobs for the world, and it keeps us safe today. This group has to debate on whether who should be in and out of this organization, and it mostly deals with the Social and Economic Council. The Security Council is next, and this has to deal with peace and security throughout the world. It is probably one of the most important groups today. We have had continuous peace for 70 years now, but the Cold War period, we maintained peace, and we could have had a war, but the United Nations was part of that, and that is one of the reasons why we didn't. Next, the Social and Economic Council have to deal with ideas and reflection on things. They deal with all the problems throughout the world and help us to grow and evolve today. The Trustee Council is a group of members that help, pretty much sum up, is to help with the General Assembly and all their needs. They deal with problems and make sure they're doing things right. Just like giving territory to Germany in World War II. Now, my favorite group of these 6 is the International Court of Justice. This deals with 15 court members that have to deal with the United Nations on debates, what is right and what is wrong, and to deal with the United Nations to give advice to it. Next, the Secretariat deals with inside the organization. It's everything that the organization needs and is important to the world. This organization gives life to it and is a very important part of it. The United Nations was a very important part of our history and today, and that is why I chose to do this topic. Thank you, Mr. Nunes.